every time here on Eagles FM Abuja. It's all about making sure that you have the radio experience you can count on, and we get to do that every day of the week. But today, here being Friday, the 22nd day of May, it's another opportunity, and as always, we've got something on our hands, and we'll have this conversation. Now, we don't just talk, we get to talk about life, family, relationship, heartbreaks, everything in between. Yes, and today on the show, we want to look at this thing. If someone is a pastor, does it mean that their spouse will also become a pastor? Does being married to a pastor make you a pastor too? Must a pastor's wife also become Mommy G.O. in the sense? But we'll be diving into this because there is context, and of course, trust us to always unveil it as possible. So today here on the show, I am just saying welcome. My name is Cassandra Yunumbe, your media chick, and as always, I'm delighted to be on this side of the radio today. I've got company. I've got someone here in the studio, and she's just going to introduce herself, and then we'll open the show the way we do it. Welcome, Ma. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay, so just introduce yourself so that we start.
My name is Ene Onilo.
All right, so there is a way we open the show, and how we do it is, so I'll just say, this is welcoming you to the Girlfriend Show.
Wow.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so this is officially welcoming you to the Girlfriend Show. Yes, it's officially the Girlfriend Show here on Eagles FM Abuja. And as always, trust us to make it worth your while. Now, today, right here on the show, we're talking about something that quietly affects many homes, marriages, and even worship centers. But people hardly say it loud. The question is, does being married to a pastor automatically make you a pastor? And what happens when the wife or even the husband doesn't want to be in the spotlight or constantly a part of leading programs, counseling members, or living under public expectations? Because you see, in many religious settings, once a man becomes a pastor, people immediately place his spouse on that spiritual pedestal or stage where they are suddenly expected to dress a certain way, behave a certain way, speak a certain way, attend every church activity, lead women's meetings, pray for people, settle disputes, and even become Mommy Gio overnight. Even if that was never her personality, calling, or desire. Now, some people say that not everyone is comfortable living at the center of that attention. Some people are naturally private, they are introverts. Some people are shy. Some people just want to support their spouse quietly without carrying that pressure of being in the mix of public ministry. And honestly, the question today is, does marrying a pastor mean you automatically lose your individuality, or you have to go in line with being the pastor's wife? Because before your husband became a pastor, he already had his own thing. I've heard some ladies say things like, they'll always drag their feet that if a man wants to become a pastor tomorrow, they will not marry such a person. They can't marry a pastor. And because according to them, it means that they will also have to become a pastor by extension, Mommy Gio, so to say. Now, some people argue on the other hand that ministry is teamwork. They believe that if you marry a pastor, you are marrying the assignment too. You are not marrying into the ministry, because according to them, the spouse becomes part of the spiritual leadership, whether they like it or not. Because people naturally look up to the pastor's family, because the pastor is supposed to lead by example. So whether the woman wants to be a pastor or not, she has to be a pastor. But then there are people who feel that this shouldn't be the case. If I don't want to be a pastor because my husband is a pastor, I shouldn't be. But that is why the conversation is here. So I was talking to you behind the mic, and you said that you don't see that as a big deal. If a woman is married to a pastor, why can't she become a pastor? So let's have this conversation.
Yes, thank you, Cassie.
Welcome.
Being married to a pastor makes a woman automatically a pastor's wife, not a pastor.
Okay.
What matters most in this situation is the calling and the gift, character.
Okay.
Yes, a pastor's wife can be a powerful minister without carrying her husband's title or office. And if she is called and qualified, then she should be recognized on her own merit, not just by marriage. Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So she should be recognized by not just by merit, I mean not just by calling or not just by marriage rather, but by merit.
By merit.
So how about because this conversation, I think I saw this on X. Someone said that why is it that once a man becomes a pastor, his wife is also in the mix? You see, pastor, Mrs. Pastor. Like, did God also call the spouse? But like you said, that by virtue of marriage, the woman is already in the middle, a pastor's wife. Okay, so there's a difference between a pastor's wife and a pastor, Mrs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, this is the conversation this afternoon here on the Girlfriend Show. Let's talk about it. Because I've heard some young ladies, like I said, you always see them drag their feet when they will say that, look, me, I cannot get married to a man that is going to be a pastor. Or I cannot get married to a pastor, because I feel like they have this feeling that maybe that is going to or rob them of their individuality, rob them of their own personality to lead their lives the way they want to live. Because the moment you stand on that people are going to have expectations. People are going to say things. They want you to be a certain way, and you cannot blame them because of the way you are portraying yourself. You are trying to be a representative of the church of Christ. So whatever that you are preaching, the godly messages that you are preaching, they want you to be that person. So imagine that, because there are people I hear some people say, and that man is a pastor. If you see the way the wife used to behave, if you see the way the wife used to dress, if you see because she is, maybe they feel that she's still not entirely in that mix. She might be appearing once in a while and doing stuff, but maybe her character or behavior does not exhibit that thing of being a pastor's wife. Okay, but let's hear from you this afternoon. Does being married to a pastor make you a pastor too? Must a pastor's wife also become Mommy G.O.? What if you become a pastor and your wife says, look, I'm not following you to do this? Yes. If your wife says, I am not following you to do this ministry, what are you going to do? Will you go and marry another wife? Or would you just be doing your ministry alone? Connect with us. Let's hear from you this afternoon. 090-9705-4450. That's the number to reach out. Or 090-7353-0044. Let's hear from you this afternoon. If you get married to your wife, and then maybe along the line God calls you into ministry, and then you tell your wife that, honey, see, it's like if this thing, I'm going to start a church, God has called me, I'm about to get into ministry and everything, and your wife says no. See, I can then, you, for the woman, if your husband wakes up one day and tells you that, look, babe, I have been called into ministry and it seems like I'm going to start a church, remember that he never portrayed any tendency of becoming a pastor at any point in time when you guys were courting or dating. Even after years of getting married, he never portrayed signs of becoming a pastor. But one day he wakes up and tells you that, see, God has called me. I've gotten the vision to start my own church, to preach the message of Christ. What would you do? How would you handle it? Let's hear from you. Is that going to be a big deal or no big deal? Or would you ask for time to adjust yourself? Or would you just go straight into it and then you try figuring it out as time keeps going on? Let's hear from you. 090-9705-4450. The number to connect with us here on Eagles FM. 090-9705-4450. Let's hear from you this afternoon. 090-7353-0044 or 090-9705-4450. Let's hear from you. It is the Girlfriend Show here on Eagles FM Abuja. And today we are talking about, does being married to a pastor make you a pastor too? Must the pastor's wife also become Mommy G.O. in the sense? Let's hear from you this afternoon. 09097054450. The number to connect with us here on Eagles FM Abuja. Let's hear from you. What is your opinion on this matter? Hello? Yes. Afternoon. Going on with your voice, but I cannot talk. Connect with us. 09097054450. The number to connect with us here on Eagles FM Abuja. Let's hear from you this afternoon. What is your opinion on this matter?
Nothing but feel-good tunes to get you home after work.
Keeps me moving when I'm stuck in traffic.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Who's ready for a reunion?
Tell me just how much you need me. Every song is just so catchy. Just makes you feel good.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, connect to us this afternoon. Does being a pastor's wife automatically makes you a pastor, make you a pastor? Let's hear from you. What is your opinion on this matter? Now, let's see some of the comments here on X. Now, this person is at Global Woman at I am Goody One. She says no, but the ones you have seen, she must have been ordained. Okay. Let's see more comments here. Now, this one is Omotunde Odunola at Omotunde0115. They say the two have become one now. All right, let's see this one. Let's see. Okay, so Dr. Dre says no, being a pastor's wife doesn't automatically make you a pastor, but through the husband having her going for pastorship trainings, she can become one, especially if she's the type that had a calling or interest. She would be a good helper to her husband. Okay, now Fatman Gilbert Mafulu says the first thing to know is who a pastor is, because if that is truly understood, your question will be answered. So who is a pastor and who is a pastor's wife, or does being a pastor's wife automatically make you, the woman, a pastor? All right, now let's see. Joe at Unique Joe _ says, well, for my church, which I support too, it does not mean that she is a pastor. It is only advisable for the woman to also pass through pastoral classes, but not compulsory. Okay, so I think that in the case that, okay, you get married to someone and they now want to become a pastor, and then you say, look, me, I don't want to, you don't want to participate in all those things. Yeah, you are doing church, you're coming to church as a church member, but you are not just in the forefront, because people have expectations that at least they should be able to talk to their pastor's wife. There are some things that even if they cannot tell the pastor, they should be able to go through the pastor's wife, and then you are not available for that and everything. But you said it's not really like a big deal, but you also said that being a pastor's wife does not make you a pastor, so to say. I remember when we were having a conversation, you said that it all depends on the personality of. Okay, all right.
It depends on individual
Yes.
and the personality. You know, some women, see, that's why I mentioned calling and gift. You should have the gift and the calling. It will make it easier for you to manage your role as a pastor's wife, but not automatically making you a pastor.
Because I feel like when you become a pastor, you're not going to be preaching. But then there are some people who are just pastors' wives, and you see them take the people. So please, I stand to be corrected, though. Yeah, hello.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Nana. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Good to hear from
Hello
you.
to the other girlfriend in the studio.
She's saying hello.
Thank you.
That is like going to the moon is easier than getting you guys on call today. The network is
Are you
like.
serious? Oh my goodness, no wonder. Because I've been wondering.
I've been trying. I don't even know how many times I tried. I just set off.
I can imagine. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. So Cassie, the question you asked.
Yes.
Does being a pastor's wife make you automatically a pastor? Absolutely not. Like, it's just even like, it's just common sense. I know that pastors like study for it, just like imams do study before they like officially. You don't just go, you don't just say I'm this person without you actually going and studying it. So just because you are marrying someone who is a pastor does not mean that you are a pastor. You have to work for it, be worthy of it before you are called that. Although there's some respect, there's a respect that comes with you being a wife of someone who is a pastor.
Yes.
People will accord you with that respect because your husband is someone that is that is, how should I say, that is considered a teacher in a religious sense.
Yes.
So people will definitely give you that respect, but like just because you are marrying that person, not because they think of you as that person. And I feel like people who become like pastors or imams, they usually have they usually get married to wives that are educated that way too. They get married, and maybe let's say, just like you said, because I'm making this example with Christians, because in Islam you have to like. No, even it's the same thing actually.
Okay.
So whether you woke up one day saying, "Okay, I got the revelation that God is calling me, I should be a pastor," you will have to, study it, right? So I feel like if you already want to be called that way to with this title, you just assume that you should be honored that will give you a title as such. You are a Mrs. You are a Mister. You are married to this person. Just because if you are doing the right thing does not mean that you are a pastor. Or you are. It's just like basic common sense and humanity. That's my own. But you see all these imams. Let me not start casting to shade, because me, I know the imams that I'm seeing, and I don't want any part in it. Yes, because some of them that I'm seeing is God in mouth. There's no God in heart. So. Thank you. Next.
All right. Thank you, Nana. Let's leave that for now. But yes, I think she's one of those ladies who actually shy away from that idea of marrying a pastor, because I've heard girls say that, see, I don't want to get married to a pastor. I cannot be married to a pastor. Now, why do you think some young women avoid marrying pastors? Why do you think so? Now, someone would even say that it could be because of pressure, because in some churches you would see that the pastor's wife, like I said, is expected to behave almost perfectly. Like, people watch the way she dresses, talks, laughs, posts online, even the way she's raising her children. It's going to be under scrutiny, and even how she
on phone. And she, I say, is that an excuse? Is that a problem? People I believe ladies should be happy seeing a pastor question. Kasi, I have problem with it all this while.
Yes.
You are called church. Why not call you to improve that church you are? Now you move out of the church, and now you become the GO. The one that did not know anything concerning the Bible will become GO. Because you are the one that owns the church. Can I tell you, I'm Paul. Because I can read this English, I can understand it, I can twist it the way I wish to. So lack of job make especially ladies come to me.
Okay.
Whatever we cannot handle, then we move it to pastor. That is our husband. I don't know if you get it. But if you did not understand the Bible and you are now married to a pastor and you want to assume the pastor's wife and become, because there's no way you will not preach the gospel. One way or the other, that is not go well.
Okay. All right. So tell us, Mr. Friday, why do you think that some young women, as she said, look, I cannot do this?
Yes. See, so many ladies don't want them to be at the front. That they will be looked whether it's good or even your dress to church, even to market. Anywhere you find yourself, you must behave calmly. So naturally, if you need to be mentor, and you need to go into that depth of the Bible before you could be. So if you are not, and a pastor now comes to you and say, I want to marry you, you look at for brother to marry. And not that they don't like anything, but they just like a quiet life. They don't like that anything. Your word will be used against that for it. And you know that it's fasting and prayer when you become a pastor, a social sister, I have to fight for a social brother. You fight. And some sisters are not put out for these issues. So there are so many reasons they don't want to. Sometimes I look at them and say, yeah, it's better you do what you know how to do best.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Hello.
Good afternoon, Cassie, and our guest in the studio.
Yes,
good afternoon, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. This is Fractional Chairman, Party After Party.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Go on.
Thank you. Cassie,
yes.
I want to support Mr. Friday's argument. Yes.
Go on.
First, let me begin to answer your question. Why some of the girls today, or our ladies, run away from marrying people who call themselves pastors? Cassie, let me ask you, if you ask 95% of women are doing what is right, and that is one of my sisters.
Now, let's see some of the pastor. However, one way or the other, there would be one role or the other to feel, especially some counseling. Okay, now someone says that not every pastor out there attends a seminary or theological school. Pastoring is more like a profession these days. Okay, well, away from that, Bikeman Giddy says there are qualities and criteria for pastorhood, and none include being a pastor's wife. You can be a pastor's wife and be in the cleaning department and not even play the role of departmental head, but we are not ready for that conversation yet. So someone is saying that your husband can pastor a church, but it doesn't mean that you have to be at the people's. How about you are a chorister, or you are in the cleaning department, or you're in the ushering department? Must you be the mommy G.O.? But is
When I'm stuck in traffic.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello, my dear people of Nigeria. Hello, my dear people of Africa. You want to work inside health sector? Abi you want follow collect training? Make you follow become certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If your answer na yes, then make you care register for Push Africa 1-year diploma for certificate nursing assistant training, where they happen for African University College of Science and Technology, where they for Abuja. Yes, now then wash hand well design this training for people who no get work, alias unemployed graduate, O-level, ordinary diploma graduate, or anybody. For more tori, make you 15 or 08055 Science and Technology, Abuja.
My people, wonders shall never end.
That woman own don't finish, my dear. Let's go and greet them, okay?
She was my greatest support despite the opposition from her parents. They despised me.
Listen to I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday from 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
And I'm doing good. You see, no.
Every life drama and program is brought to you by Media Coalition and Awareness to hold.
Even ideas are for something. Even ideas are for something. 7278 or Solomon 08059198658. Eagles FM 1.
Alright, it is still Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your number one radio experience you can always count on. My name is Cassandra Yunube, and today we're talking about something. Now, being a pastor's wife, does it automatically make you a pastor? And why do some women shy away from becoming a pastor's wife? Well, let's pick the score before we come back to the studio. Yes, hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Cassie.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Raymond. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Good to hear from you.
A very short story.
Okay.
Something that happened to me. I always have all the girls I've been dating actually will be like, nah, I don't want to get married to a pastor. So the last one I was dating, I didn't even get over. Because you couldn't believe when I went there, the pastor still so he wanted the pastor like pray for us because I have a calling. So she acted like everything was fine. Well, I don't really know, Sha, but you were asking why is it that some of these ladies actually don't want to get married to pastors? Because what I think is the society set the standard, so actually not willing to like. You understand? On them is very, very high. You understand? And talking about here, you understand? To assist you. So except if she's also called. Except if she's also called. But if not, I beg, you are not.
You expect her to like participate fully, like put her body entirely into your ministry. In the case, like what if she says that, look, I don't want to involve in.
It cannot be possible.
Okay, right? In whatever he does, Abi.
Okay.
Because I've even seen so many cases where a woman will know that as you taking it upon yourself to marry that man, then you should be able to. You should be ready to shoulder that responsibility. If you can't shoulder that responsibility, the door is always open when it comes to marriage. So thank you very much, Cassie. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Yes, hello.
Mama Cassie.
Yes, Genesis. Where have you been?
Good afternoon, Mama Cassie.
It's been a long time. Where have you been? Okay. What happened now? Okay. Let's hear from you.
Leading women this calling. The meeting is not always going right because the mommy Gio has said is not away from it. You know, it's not everybody has the ability of facing congregation. But if you are a pastor and you also have the calling, facing congregation will not be a problem because it is what you are called to do. You see it like what you love doing and like doing.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you love doing things, you will not have issue with it, facing people. That's why a lot of women shine away from it. And as a woman, if you did not have the calling, some women, you might maybe weakening the spirit of your husband. The energy will not be there, and it will make your husband to be weak in his calling. You get me? So I think that's why they are shying away from it.
Okay. Yes. So if you are not supportive of your husband, you see that divorce, they'll separate from their wives so that everybody will go their separate ways. Well, I think this thing is quite deep. Someone said that some ladies do not want to be judged by by the standards of the congregation. Well, let's see some comments here. Now, marry the pastor today. By Sunday, they are calling you mama with the administrative authority over 300. Now, let's see. Olalensi says, this is Ola Jola says, but the two becoming one metric of marriage, it does. And maybe it shouldn't based on skill and experience requirements, but there's an expectation that the pastor recognizes that need in his choosing. Now, Olua Damilari says, it doesn't automatically make you a pastor, but you must be a child of God expectation go high. Even you self go come seek counseling. Well, I guess that's what you're talking about. Now Bolua says until they say that there is one girl with demon possessed outside and your husband is in his prayer room for the next 3 hours, so they should well, let me leave that comment. I'm still trying to get some comments. Okay, Fola Gideon says no, it doesn't. Marriage shouldn't make a woman a pastor. In fact, a woman cannot be a pastor. That's another conversation for another day. A woman cannot be a pastor. All right, now this is fresh copy. She says you mustn't be a pastor, but you all right, you need to offer the person their partner, because I think it's not different. You becoming a pastor is just like, I know that everyone every of these comes with their peculiarities, but it's just like you are in marriage and one day you wake up and say, see, let's relocate to this place. Maybe your husband gets a job, you are living in Abuja, and one day your husband gets a job in Maiduguri and you have to go. So these are the things that come with marriage. Marriage is not always a bed of roses. So if you're getting married with someone, your mind has to be open. Like, you have to get into marriage with an open mind, so long as what they are going into is not illegal. I think you have to support them. It means you trusting, or they trusting you to be able to be with them in their decisions, and they also being with you in your own decisions, so long as that their decisions or your decisions are beneficial to the family. Well, we've come to the end of the show, but before we go, Madam Ene, let's hear your final take before we round it up. What are your final thoughts on this matter?
Yes, my final take is, if you find yourself being a pastor's wife, do it diligently, so that your husband, do it with your full energy.
You're right.
So that leading God's people to God,
it will be easier for your husband, because at the end of the day, it's about support.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know, some Mommy Gio is being a Mommy Gio is a cultural